Okay, let's go back to the problem that I did in a previous video with a guess and check. So we graphed this in Desmos. We added a slider to represent M, and we adjusted the slider and got pretty close, but it was still guess and check, and it was time consuming. So we're going to do it with the algebra process, and the question determined the nature of the roots. So we're not finding the roots, we're deciding which m values make it into one of the three categories: no roots, two roots, or one double root. And so our answer for this is going to be the possibilities of m. Now, to start us off, we're going to find the discriminant. So quadratic formula, this is just a recap here: negative b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. And we're not going to find the roots. Like I said, we can't do that because m is an additional variable. What we're going to do is we're going to take this b squared minus 4ac and try to find, well, what values for m make it 0 or positive or negative. And so starting us out, the discriminant, b squared minus 4ac, and by the way, the letter that's given to represent that is delta, and it's the same delta as the airline delta. It shares the same origins. It's Greek letter delta. And so that represents this whole formula. That's the discriminant. And this is the formula for the discriminant. So if we put our numbers in, let's go ahead and do that. Then delta is b squared is 25. So b is to 5 minus 4 times 1, because it's 1x squared. A is 1. And c is m. So it's just going to be 4m. All right, that is the discriminant. It's left as an equation like this. Now, we explored earlier, if this is 0, so if the discriminant equals 0, that is the one root situation. So we're going to start there. If we set this equal to 0 and solve for m, with my guess and check, I guessed it to be about 6.2-ish, and that's as much as I bothered to get close. Now, this is going to tell us more accurately where it is. Solve for m, and I'm going to add 4m to both sides, 25, and then I'm going to divide by 4. 25 divided by 4. Okay, now we could leave it like that. It's a little hard to interpret, so let's simplify this. 25 over 4 is the same as 24 over 4 plus 1 over 4. That's 25 fourths. 24 over 4 is 6, and then 1/4. Okay, so 6.25. If m is 6.25, then we'll have a one root parabola. Now, to organize my thoughts here, I'm going to make a number line. The answer to these problems is a number line. It's a m, in this case it's letter m values. So this represents that slider that you were playing around with on a previous activity. And I'm just going to go ahead and in my number line, if m is 6.25, that makes a parabola with one root. And just to, again, don't know where it is. Doesn't matter where it is. It's just that there is one. Okay. Now the question is, are the numbers on the number line that are greater than 6.25, what do they do? And we don't know. So we're going to have to test here. Let's go back to the discriminant. And to figure this out, actually, I'll continue here. Let's test some number on this number line. So supposing we choose, let's pick something easy like 10. Okay, 10 will be over here on my number line. And now if we put in 10 into this formula, 25 minus 4 times 10, is that a positive or a negative value? 25 minus 40 is negative. And so if we test m is 10, delta is 25 minus 40. And again, I don't care what that is. That's a negative number. So what that tells us is that on this entire side of the number line for m, we have parabolas that don't have any roots. And I'm just going to go ahead and draw a generic one right here. So from 6.25 on, there are no roots. M, and we would write greater than, strictly greater than, because it can't be equal to, that's something else. 25, no roots. Okay, now we can go over here and test it, but this is going to produce the opposite effect. So let's see, let's test, if you test 0, say. And if m is 0, what happens then? I always like to pick easy numbers to test in the equation. Delta is 25 minus 4 times 0. And that, I don't care what number is, it's positive. Okay, and that suggests that any number less than 6.25 makes 2 roots. Again, don't know where they are, but there'll be 2 of them for any value less than 6.25. So you're not finding an answer. You're communicating a range of possibilities, which is different than problems you've solved in the past. And their answer is this number line. So sometimes you can just communicate these 3 items. That's what we were doing in a previous activity. Those are the takeaway from the number line. The number line just helps lay it out.